All right, yo, what's up, man? What's going down?
Man, another day. You know how it
How's your
go.
day been?
Same old, same old. It's been pretty decent. Yeah, got off work,
Good,
but other than that, it's been good. I ain't tripping.
good. We had at work today. We had staff dressed like the Students' Day.
Oh wow.
So yeah, so all the staff came in wearing hoodies.
Yeah,
Yeah,
because that is the going thing
I
nowadays.
I wore mine for all of 20 minutes, and I was like, it's too hot. I don't know how they do it all day, all day,
Bruh,
bro. I'm like,
bruh,
I even asked them. I said, how are
bruh.
y'all wearing a hoodie all day? They,
That junk kills me because I can't do it. You know what I'm saying?
yeah,
You get hot and be like, nah, I ain't even about to wear all this. Let me just go ahead and get
yeah,
this
it's too
t-shirt,
much.
especially out here in Texas. You know how
Yeah,
that go.
especially out here, and I be seeing them, and they walking home with it on. I'm like, man, y'all can have that. I know y'all. I know they stink when they get home.
Yeah, smell like
I know they
outdoor.
stink when they get home. Um, I
Smell just
checked
like
out.
outdoor.
I checked out uh some of the undisputed stuff,
Mm-hmm.
and it looks clean. It looks clean. I was
Yeah.
looking, and they were saying how they cleaned up the counter punching and the movement, back and
Mm-hmm.
forth and stuff. And I'm really impressed. Like they did a side by side with the old undisputed and the new
Yeah.
one, way more crisp.
Yep. They've been working on it for a while. I've been following it for like I want to say like the last year and a half, 2 years since it was actually kind of announced, and
Okay,
they've been working on it. Like I didn't see the progression the whole time they've been working on that joint. And I must say I'm impressed. I want to play it because it's on Steam. If you trying to play it on the PC, you could play it now.
oh
But
really?
yeah, it's on Steam. So
Okay,
they had an early access for it. And,
okay,
as time progressed, they were at first it was just you can only play like just a regular head to head couple of online games with a couple of fighters. Then they
okay.
gradually expanded and expanded to where now they have the career mode. It's basically the full game is out, but you
All
have to
right,
be on PC to play it now. But once
gotcha.
I saw that they were like October 11th, eyes
Yeah,
got big, you know
yeah,
what I'm saying? I was like, whoa,
yeah,
this is soon to come, you know what I'm saying? Because,
yeah,
it been without boxing game for forever. Fight Night was around
yeah.
three, was the last one that came out.
And that was a minute ago.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah, that was a minute
PS,
ago.
I think PlayStation 3.
3. Yeah,
Yeah, it was
PlayStation
like
3.
during
That
when
was it.
PlayStation 3 era. Yeah, so I'm just happy to see it come out. Something else come out for boxing. I know they got like I think they got like over 200 boxers in the game or
Yeah,
something like that. Like, and then they got DLC planned for more boxers to come in.
good.
I'm gonna have to pre-order that joint.
Yeah,
Pre-order, you
yeah,
get that
yeah.
Roy Jones.
Yeah, I was just gonna say. I saw if you pre-order, you get the Roy Jones. So
Yeah,
I'm gonna have to
yeah,
do the same. I'm gonna have to
yeah.
do the
So
same. I
it's
was
about to go down.
I was super impressed with what I saw when I I saw some demonstrations and was looking at it on YouTube. I also had
Hmm.
I had looked at, because I had saw something on Twitter or X, whatever you want to call it now. I had saw
Yeah.
something, and some of the guys was like, "Oh yeah, but NCAA has always been like cookie cutter of Madden, right?" And I was
Mm.
like, "That's how I know you didn't play both of them,
Yeah, because if you
because
played, you knew NCAA played as the better game than Madden. It
exactly
just completely played the same engine, but the way the game played was complete. NCAA just felt better than Madden all the
better,
time,
yeah,
all the time.
it
Yeah,
was
yeah.
smoother." Not only that, man, but you take into account, man, like, the intros of the different teams. You know what I mean? Like
Mm-hmm.
the crowd, and one of the things mentioned on one of the videos I was watching earlier, they were talking about like you got to think like NCAA has 132 different stadiums that
Yeah.
they're playing at, versus
Yeah.
Madden only has like 34 because they have
32,
the ones in
34.
Europe that you know what I mean.
Yeah. Couple of
So
creative team stadiums.
right.
Yeah.
Yeah, and when you take that, you take NCAA having the different introductions for the different teams.
Mm-hmm.
You take because they're supposed to be implementing. You know how like Miami has the turnover chain, or different teams do different things for
Yeah.
turnovers.
Yeah.
They're supposed to be implementing that. You know what I mean? Like, so when you take all of that into account, another thing that they're supposed to be working on, or worked on, was, so depending on where you play, the crowd noise is different. If you play at some place like the Swamp, you playing the Florida Gators, it's going to
Mm-hmm.
be vastly different than if you playing Kansas. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like
Yeah. The
you're gonna get a
atmosphere.
different sound, a different rumble. So
Yeah. Getting
all
that
those
that atmospheric perspective is dope. Like they always had that in the NCAA games. Like,
exactly.
and it's just amazing how much they. It's kind of crazy and it's amazing how much they actually do when it comes to the college football game.
Hmm.
How much more they implement as far as like the atmosphere, how they capture college football's essence versus how they
Right.
do Madden. Like
Yeah.
Madden, you feel like you're lacking somewhere, but when you play
Yeah.
college football, you kind of immersed in the whole thing, and it's just like, how do you get that on the college level? There's way more teams.
Yeah.
There's less to really focus on.
Hmm.
There's more to focus on. Madden doesn't have as much, but you bring out a better product with the NCAA games now. Madden always sells better because NFL. Everybody loves the NFL.
Right.
Worldwide, it's a bigger global brand than it is college football is. But
Right.
the college games were just better games, just better games. There's no way to really put it out. To me, they were always the best game on the market for football.
Yeah. It was, and for me, it was something about like when you take Madden, and I know you could do like franchise mode, right? And then yeah,
Hmm.
you got to try to re-sign players and all of that, right? But
Hmm.
when you look at like college football, when you look at NCAA, when playing that game, when you do your dynasty, man, trying to recruit players, like figuring
Yeah.
out your strategy, um, trying to beat
Hmm.
that rival. So you're trying to build your
Yeah.
team on trying to beat that rival. You're trying to, when you look at it, and like you need to try to win like 8 games or 9 games. You know what I mean? Like,
Hmm.
what things can you offer players for them to stay, or for them? You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, if they want to enter the draft, or whatever. Like all those things, you take that into account, because it's different from like when you were playing Madden and you're in franchise mode. You're like, you know what I mean? Like you're trying to make it to the playoffs, and then you
Yeah.
finish that. And a lot of the time we would sim it, right? A lot of the time there were
Yeah.
some games
Yeah.
I would
Yeah.
just sim, but with college,
Yeah.
I felt like I had to play every game.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah,
Because you're playing for something. When it came to college, it's like, bro, I need to get into a bowl game. Let me go ahead
yeah,
and, Madden with the same thing with the playoffs and stuff like that. I think the part that what I am really excited about is the taking your, and I'm pretty sure it's in it, but taking your draft class from NCAA and
mm,
taking them over to Madden.
Madden,
That used
yeah,
to be always something that I used to love doing back in those days too, because
me
I
too.
love that aspect of taking somebody from the college game that you done
Yeah,
probably in your team, you done work with them and built them up, and then you just like, oh man, I want to get them in my draft. Well, you export that draft class, and then you pick them up in Madden, and it's just like, dog. yeah, or
Yeah.
he's a bust. You know what I'm saying? That part I
Yeah.
love, but
He's a dud.
yeah,
Yep.
you know what I'm saying? But
Yeah.
yeah, but that part I loved about it, and I can't wait to get back to that. But that whole NCAA, yeah, you just felt like every game literally mattered.
Matter.
Like
Yeah.
it, and it really does. I mean, college football, every game typically matters. Like
Hmm.
one or two losses, it
That's it.
you hard pressed to get into, you know what I'm saying? You ain't being a national championship too often with one or two losses, you know what I'm saying? So
Right.
it gives you a
And how
different
can
sense, and I love the recruiting.
and how convincingly you won the game matters. You know what I'm saying? Like I
Yes.
better, you know what I
Yeah.
mean? Like if I'm playing
Better bury this
if I
team.
got this if I got this team and I'm playing a Texas Tech, or let me not use Texas Tech.
Mm-hmm.
Somebody might be mad. We're gonna say UTEP,
Nah.
and I'm playing a UTEP. It better not be close because that's gonna matter at some point. You
Yeah.
know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
with Madden, it's just it's about winning, and you were just trying to win enough games to make it into the playoffs and then go from there. Like so,
Yep.
simming
And then
for
just
me, I'm one of
yeah.
them ones. I'm like, all right, I got like 8 wins right now. I could sim and get
Excuse me.
a couple more, maybe two, three more for sure,
Yeah.
based on my roster. You know what I mean? But like with college, it was
Yeah.
you had to play every game,
Yep.
and that's
Yeah.
what I loved
In
about it.
college. In college just gets you that it just gets you so engulfed, and like how you was talking about the recruiting, that was just the major thing about it. Like
Yeah.
I don't think I don't think Madden captures off season like college football
Oh
was
no.
capturing off seasons. Like
Mm-mm.
Madden, you can almost sure enough you throw a bunch of money at somebody and they're gonna probably be on your team. Ain't
Yeah.
really. And of course, down the road, it starts getting rocky with Madden because you done made all these bad contracts, and now you got people wanting X amount, and
Yeah.
you can't re-sign your whole squad. Which
Yeah.
that is that's fun to really deal with. You know what I'm saying? Because it's truth.
True.
If you bad manage and you buy and you just getting the best players, eventually down the road, you got those that you done drafted that then got so real good. Now they asking for a bunch, and then this real
Mm-hmm.
running backs asking. Now you got to cut players. You got to let people go, and
Go.
all
Yeah.
that stuff. That makes Madden interesting. But what lacks with me, although this Madden they did it better than what they used to do prior. With the free agency is
Mm-hmm.
they did put a little bit of thought process behind like, oh, the players are this is this player about money? Is this player about, winning championships?
Okay.
Is this player about you having a good coach and playing in like some of them are like they like to play in warm weather. You know what I'm saying? So
Oh yeah.
of course you have your sliders or whatever that you can make it to where it's even more harder to get those that don't match your team. Like they got the players actually have a personality. Like, you know what I'm saying?
Okay.
Do you have a franchise QB? If you're
Mm.
getting a receiver, they might be like, okay, do you have a franchise
Yeah.
QB? Are you a
Who's throwing the ball
contender?
to
Are
me?
you not? Yeah.
Yeah.
Then it'd be like, I want money. Then it just be like, this person might want money and then might want to play in Miami type stuff, because
Right.
they want the weather. You know what I'm
Right.
saying? Is it a hometown place? Are they from this area?
Mm-hmm.
So they kind of, and now I'm thinking about it, they probably started doing that because they getting ready to implement this into college football. So
Football
now you got
makes
all
sense.
those little things that go into recruiting. It's just like,
Yeah.
oh, now we're doing this with free agency. So I'm
Mm-hmm.
interested to see how well they do that, and then when they do that good, and if they do that really good in college, I would
Mm-hmm.
love to see them take that same concept and apply it to free agency in Madden
Right.
because Madden's dynasty has been over the years just they last 2 years they've been trying to make it better, but
Mm-hmm.
I want to see what they bring to college football because if they get college football nailed right, I think they can take that and do a little bit better with Madden. But I'm interested to see how it all goes down.
Right. Yeah. I haven't even honestly. I haven't purchased a Madden since 20. I think it was maybe even 19. It's one of them ones.
Mm-hmm.
One of those two. So it's been some
Mm-hmm.
time. Um. But I will say like if college, it will be the one. It will be the thing that get me back into Madden, because just
Yeah.
like you said, like I want to be able to move those players, put them into the
Mm-hmm.
draft. You know what I mean? Like I want to be able to do that because you
Mm-hmm.
look at it like this. Like even when you're playing the college football game, you can see the top players that ain't even on your team when they, you know what I mean? Like all the Heisman races, all of
Yeah.
that stuff, right? So like
Yeah. Yeah.
even still, I'm like, you're looking at all these different awards on college, and you're like, oh yeah, on the Madden, I know I might need him. Oh, he got the Buckets Award. Like let me look at his numbers
Yeah.
real quick. Okay, yeah,
Yeah. You
on the
start.
Madden, he
You.
gonna be all right, yeah. I see what he rocking
Yeah.
with.
You
So
kind of
even players
pre-planning.
that you even players you might even play against, right? And you like, oh man, is he a
Yes.
senior? Yeah, I might
Yes.
draft him on
Oh, this
Madden. You
dude.
know what I mean?
This dude murdered me. Let me go and see what he about to be batting on Madden. You know what I'm saying? Yeah,
Yeah,
yeah.
yeah,
And I like that because you almost like playing a scout. You know,
yeah.
you going from college to the pros, you playing a scout. You watching everybody. You just like, oh
You watch
man,
it.
let me
Yep.
let me this dude tore me up. Let me see how he
Yeah.
doing there. His red. Oh snap! This month. Let me get you on Madden and find out.
Find out. Yeah, 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 yeah. Definitely. Yeah. So I'm
Yeah.
I'm real excited about that. You had brought up weather on the players. You could see what type of weather, and when you said that, that made me think
Mm-hmm.
of something. When I was looking at the schedules, and they were talking about Detroit, and they were talking about they only got 3 games
Bruh.
outdoors. How that
Bruh.
happened, man? I'm like, does the league want
Bruh.
them to win?
That's what I'm saying. I heard about that. I said, bro, really? You got
Yeah,
3 outdoor games all year long.
that's it.
You ain't affected by no weather.
None,
None. I mean,
none.
your turf team already, indoor
Right,
turf team, you already play in that type of environment. It's almost like home field no matter what. Only thing is you ain't gonna have the crowd advantage, but you
exactly.
playing with house money.
Yeah, yeah,
They got that easy, dog. That is now, granted, let's just it ain't easy, but when
but yeah,
you don't have a disadvantage of the elements because you are already a team that is used to not playing in the elements.
right.
I
Because the
mean,
really, I mean, two of those are going to be one is going to be Chicago.
one's against San
That's
Fran.
one is San Fran, one is
Hmm.
Chicago, one is Green Bay, and that's it.
Now they
That's
ain't. I won't think. I don't think they're easy games for them to win. The ones that are out in the open, of course,
oh
Green
no,
Bay and San
absolutely not.
Fran. That's not going to be easy at all. And the way Chicago done stacked up, I mean,
Whew,
it's always writing on
man.
the raw paper. On paper,
Hmm.
it look real good. We got to see
On
how that
paper,
formulates,
yeah.
together. But on
Um,
paper, look real good in Chicago right now. Like they might do a little bit of damage.
yeah.
They already last year they started clicking a little bit more at the end of the year with Justin Fields, and
Fields, yeah.
so now you didn't add more weapons to that roster, and then you
Hmm.
got the quarterback that you want. Hopefully, Caleb Williams was
Yeah,
worth the pick. You know what I'm
yeah,
saying? But you got weapons. You got a receiving core. You got a decent running back. Y'all done pretty much almost won the whole entire offseason.
yeah,
Just almost. I don't, you know what I'm saying? It is just like so y'all not gonna be easy out. And Detroit, it's gonna be hard. But
yeah.
it's gonna be a little bit better for them because like I said, like we said, they're playing inside. So
Inside, yeah. The
I
the
mean,
elements aren't going to be a factor. You mentioned the weapons that
mhm,
Chicago has. If the other
mhm,
day I was looking at the roster, and I was like, it's kind of crazy to
mhm,
think because over the last 25, 30 years, the best quarterback that they've had in that time, and I'm going to take Justin Fields out of it because we know late last year he kind of started to progress a little bit. But
yeah.
over the last 25, 30 years, the best quarterback they've had was Rex Grossman.
That's yeah,
Yeah, yeah.
yeah,
Like think about that, right? So,
yeah,
yeah,
yeah, yeah. He went to the Super Bowl. Uh,
yeah. The defense went to the Super
yeah.
Bowl. No, the defense took
The
them to the
defense,
Super
yeah, the
Bowl.
defense, yeah, they took them
Yeah.
to the Super Bowl. That's right.
He
That's right.
went.
That's when
The
Tommy
defense took
Harrison. That
them.
was, yeah, that's what Tommy Harrison. Them boys is out there
Yeah.
doing damage on defense
Yeah.
that
Yeah.
year with Devin
Yeah.
Hester and them boys. Yeah,
Yeah. Yeah.
yeah,
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
yeah.
Yeah. Lovey Smith. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yep.
Um,
Yeah.
and I thought about that and I'm like, hey,
They
all Caleb Williams has to do is with the weapons that they have is don't turn the ball over. Don't
don't
do
mess up. Don't turn it
don't
over.
mess. Yep.
Yeah.
Don't turn the ball over. Other than
Just
that,
not a.
all around the team is solid.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yeah, it is. It really is. For if you're a Chicago fan out there, it looks bright. You know what I'm
Right.
saying? Just hopefully Caleb Williams is everything that they want him to be.
Right.
Because yeah, if you got you got weapons like that, just
Hmm.
don't turn the ball over. I
That's
mean, you'll
it.
be successful in the NFL as a quarterback if you just don't turn the ball over. I mean,
I
it's not.
mean,
I'm not going to sit here and be like, yeah, I could play quarterback because I know I can't, but
right.
it technically ain't that. It's not rocket science. You know what I'm
Yeah.
saying? If you don't turn the ball over, you're going to have success. I mean, we can
That's
go
what
down.
makes that's what makes Brock Purdy
Yeah,
like hey,
he don't turn the ball over.
all I have to do is hit this slant at 8 yards. Boom. Okay.
Hmm.
To
Hmm.
don't he don't try to force nothing that's not there. And this coming from a diehard Rams fan.
Well, I'm a 49er fan, so he
Yeah,
take
your whole
chances now. But see, the thing about it is, he take chances that he know he can make that throw. You
right.
know what I'm saying? Brock Purdy, he knows he can make this throw. This is a throw that I can make, so I do take this chance. Sometimes it don't work. I mean, get tipped up, whatever. The great defense is always going to make it harder, but
Yeah.
he makes he does take chances. Like over the middle, he'll throw one right over the linebacker's head, and you be like, "Ooh, oh,
I
yeah, nice."
I
But he
agree.
knows he can make that. It ain't Jimmy G
Yeah.
that shouldn't be throwing those passes and tries to
Oh man, yeah.
because he can't
Yeah.
make that throw. You
He's our
you know
backup
how I feel
quarterback
about
now.
it. Yeah. Oh, I'm sorry. You know how I feel about
I
it.
know.
I've dealt with him for years, and granted, you could say he won games. When we
Yeah.
played, we won. Not because of him. It just when we won those games, he did the thing that we was talking about with Caleb Williams. Don't turn the ball
Don't
over.
turn the
When
ball
he
over.
didn't turn the ball over, we were winning games.
Hmm.
But once you know how Jimmy G got, he throw
Hmm.
one pick, you liable to get 2, 3 more that game. And then
Yeah.
once that happened, he
That's
starts
it.
getting rattled. He's throwing he'll start throwing stuff that he shouldn't be throwing. You can't make
Right.
this throw. This throw is not here. Yeah, you're getting
Yeah.
pressured. Take a sack. Throw the ball
Yeah.
away.
Yeah.
I mean, like to the sideline. Don't throw it over the
Yeah.
middle trying to make something out of nothing.
Yeah. Away. Out of bounds. Yeah.
Yeah, just throw it out of bounds. I don't care. I'd
Yeah.
rather you do that than you throw it and get a pick. And man, don't let me get started with him. But I will say we did win games with him as the quarterback.
Just not the
But
big
I don't
ones.
think yeah, just not one. I mean, we ain't won the big one with him. Without him, we get close. We had Colin Kaepernick. We lost that one. We've been to the Super Bowl.
Yeah.
Now, I won't blame Jimmy G for the KC Super Bowl. I think that was just bad. Once again, Kyle Shanahan, for whatever
That's
reason, you stopped running the ball,
ball. Yeah. That's all
controlling the
Kyle
game.
Shanahan, man.
And then now you want him to make a throw that he's 9 times out of 10. If he would have made the throw and the dude, we would have caught that ball
Yeah.
deep over the middle like that, yeah, that'd have been great. But when
Right.
you get away from your game plan and what's your strength, I mean, when a team can win a game with your quarterback throwing only 10 passes,
Let it happen.
why are you changing up in the Super Bowl? Y'all
Yeah,
winning.
yeah.
You winning the game. Run the ball.
Run the
Do
ball.
what you do best.
Hmm.
Do what got you there. Don't try and change up. That's the problem.
Right.
That's one thing about Shanahan, and that's why he lost the Super Bowl when he was at Atlanta. Granted, he was the offensive coordinator and not the head coach, but at the same time,
But
you're the
still,
OC.
we
Why
could
did you stop running the football?
the
Y'all are
ball.
killing them on the ground.
Yep.
And
And
yeah, that's
but
my
that's
49er rant. Um,
but that's Shanahan. That's what he do. Um, Real
mhm,
quick to your to Brock Purdy. Um, I feel like late. I feel like mid season last year, he started getting more
mhm,
gutsy and started
yeah,
pushing a little bit more. Like I
yeah,
felt like he was like, I'm a little bit more comfortable. I can make some stuff happen.
mhm,
Um, to your
yeah, yeah,
point to your point about the Super Bowl, I 1,000% against KC. That wasn't Garoppolo's fault. They definitely should have been running the ball. I mean,
yeah,
we know who was in the
yeah.
backfield. We know what they had been able to do all playoffs.
All year.
Yeah, all year.
it just
I
it just makes no sense. For
Go
whatever
ahead.
reason, sometimes teams play different for KC. I
Yeah,
don't know why
I don't know
teams play
why.
different with KC than what they. I mean, look at Baltimore. Lamar Jackson. All year long, you've been killing people, dual threatening. You don't take no. You don't run the ball at all against KC.
Yeah,
That's easy planning for the. That's easy for them. You know what I'm saying? It's
yeah,
like if you're gonna make yourself one dimensional. Now I know they got a beast of a lineman. Uh, What's his name? Jones? Is it Jones
yeah,
for
yeah.
KC?
Chris Jones.
Chris Jones.
Yeah,
He
Chris
is
Jones.
a monster. He's a
Yeah,
monster.
he is. He is.
But when you stop doing your game plan, if you are a football team that runs the ball, why are you passing?
Yeah, I agree.
Even if it ain't working early on, you don't go away from that. Now, if you're getting blowed out and you need to really come back, then of course, yes, you're gonna be throwing the ball, airing it out. But if
Yeah,
something is working and y'all, or even if it ain't working, but this is your identity is your strength. So if Lamar Jackson is part of your strength, you need to utilize him.
utilize it
Stop,
exactly.
stop changing your game plan that's gonna benefit the defense. They don't want like when I was watching that game, it's just like this. KC wants you to throw the ball.
Yeah.
They don't want you to run the ball because they know that's your strength. Yes, they're game planning for that,
Mm-hmm.
but that's because they don't want you to do it. So
Right.
when you playing into their hands, like, oh, I'm gonna make Lamar Jackson a pocket passer, huh?
Yeah.
Oh, this light work. You know what
Yeah.
I'm saying? This light work. Y'all don't even want to go to your strength. Oh, we just gonna go ahead and we gonna make this little shell right here, and he ain't running today. Well,
Yeah.
we just gonna cover up all his receivers.
I
Now he's got to be us in the air.
I think Baltimore. I think Baltimore saw that. Looking back, is why they went and got a Derrick Henry.
Yes,
Yeah,
yes,
because
but
if you have a Derrick Henry to to pound on that defense all game,
mm-hmm,
and then in the fourth
mm-hmm,
quarter, Lamar can, hey, y'all, whoa, out. Derrick Henry done already. If
yeah,
Lamar need to move out that pocket a little bit, he can. Because y'all, Derrick Henry done
exactly,
took the life out of y'all already. I think that's the game plan
exactly.
going in.
But see, the thing about that's it's a good game plan till you actually play it. Are you really gonna do it? That's my
Yeah,
thing. Like
yeah,
Derrick Henry is just one running back. He's a monster of a running back, yes. But it
yeah,
ain't like y'all didn't have a three-headed monster back there last year. You know what I'm saying? Yeah, they ain't Derrick Henry, but
yeah.
them boys was game. They were killing the ground against teams.
Yeah, that was.
You see what they did to us?
Yeah, yeah,
You see what they did to us, right?
yeah. I
Okay.
saw it. Believe me,
they
I was
they
watching
they
it.
were they were. yeah, they were just killing us. We couldn't
Yeah.
stop them. So it's just like it don't matter who you get as a personnel if you ain't gonna run the game plan.
Utilize the
It
weapons.
don't matter.
Right.
Yeah, if they want you. They don't really want you to run the football
Yeah.
because they know what you can do in the backfield, but they're gonna
Mhm.
game plan against it so that way you change up how you move.
Yeah.
So if you are a running football team and you decide that you want to go and pass the ball, you're playing into their hands. That's what they
Yeah.
want you to do. They want you to do what
Yeah.
you're not comfortable with. That's why I believe the 49ers are so hard to deal with because we can run and pass.
Yeah.
And we don't normally stray away from that game plan. You ever notice we gonna kill you most of the time? We're gonna either kill you with McCaffrey, we're gonna run it down your throat, we're gonna do something to Debo, we're gonna do
Mhm.
anything to kind of flip it all the way around to make you have to cover everything. That's how you
Right.
get people like Brandon Ayuk that becomes real good. You got people like George Kittle that can,
Kittle. Yeah.
Debo can be a dual threat. CMC, he's a dual threat. And
Mhm.
shoot, even the other running backs that we got on our team, them boys is them boys,
Yeah.
they can get after it.
Yeah.
And so when you got a team that's built around running, which is what we do best, is run,
Mhm.
but it opens up so much with that play action. It opens up so much more with everything else. And you ever most of the time, unless we're down bad, we're going
Mhm.
to run the football. You do what
Yeah.
is going to get you to do what your identity is. You run the football. The Patriots back in the day, they didn't really have to run a lot because Tom Brady, his short passes were like runs.
Mhm.
They never got away from their identity.
Yeah. Well,
That's why it was
so
so hard to beat them.
so the 49ers are actually kind of a lot like that though, because really, when you think about it, I mean, y'all are so effective in the pass game because of Debo Samuel. Like he's the yak
Hmm.
yards. He's gonna get yak. Like
Hmm.
look at
Yeah.
his yards after contact. It's insane.
Yeah.
Like it's crazy. Christian McCaffrey the same way. Like even
Same
if you
way.
do a
Yeah.
play action fake with him and then hit him when he slides out there in the yards, yak
In
yak
the
yak yak.
flats. Yep.
So
Yeah.
yep. So 49ers are so effective in that way. They just have the weapons to get you the yak yards. And then that's when you can
Hmm.
get Ayuk on a post route. You know what I mean? For
Yep.
20 25
Get your
yards. You know what I
IU.
mean?
Yeah. Get your
So
George Kittle over the middle or something like that on a
yep.
crossing or something. And they go and
Hmm.
they all take those routes and they can take them and go. You know what I'm saying? So
Yeah.
it's hard to bring them boys down. I
Hmm.
think Detroit is another team that's just like it. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Detroit can play that style. They got a heck of a running game.
Yep.
They got
With
a heck of a
Montgomery.
passing game.
Yep. With
Yeah, they
Amon
could
right
do
what's it?
both.
Amon St. Brown.
Amon-Ra St. Brown. Yeah.
St. Brown,
Yeah.
yeah.
And then they got that tight end was
Yeah,
Laporte, something
that
like
he
that.
was a rookie last year. Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah,
So they built with the same kind of structure. They can
yeah.
get yards running the football, and then all they have to have is a quarterback in Jared Goff that can make the
Hmm.
throws. And when he gets his and read the defense, and that's what made them so good. It's hard
Yeah.
to really defend a team that doesn't get away from their identity.
Hmm.
And then you got a team that when they are dual threat teams like that, you kind of wonder what their real identity is. Okay, yeah, you want to run the football. Okay, yeah, we're gonna play the run. Oh, now they passing
Yeah,
it. Oh, well, let's try to stop. Now you're playing guessing game.
yeah,
All this
yeah,
motion and stuff that they doing, that's what we do. We do a bunch of motion. We put
yep.
people in, get you out of position, and then we hit you with a zone blocking scheme, and then you got nothing but holes. And Christian McCaffrey just runs straight through the hole.
I, I think that's what makes the Los Angeles Rams and San Francisco games so intense is because
Chess moves.
I think McVay and Shanahan know each other so well. But
Hmm.
it's such a chess match between the two And I think for a
Hmm.
little while, what was happening, well, for years, because it took us years to win regular season games against till last year, but we wouldn't win
Yeah.
regular season games. But
Yeah.
it was one of those things like for me, what I saw in the Rams last year, and I've been, of course, I've been a Rams fan, my whole life,
Oh
right?
yeah.
So like
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
when when I see over the last since we all right, so we won the Super Bowl against Cincinnati, okay? And I think what happened after
Hmm.
that is, of course, we had to regroup. We battled a lot of injuries, and then last year, I think early on we struggled because we were kind of trying to find our offensive identity again. I
Hmm.
think Puka Nakua helped a lot with that, but
He
I
really
noticed
did.
we started to run the ball more. And if it wasn't working, I noticed that we would just stick with it. And then it came into
Hmm.
fruition and it started to work,
Yeah.
which carried us into the playoffs where nobody expected us to be. Nobody expected
Exactly.
us to even, win more than 6 games last season. But I think
That's
that's
the
a
truth.
testament to you know, the whole coaching staff and the team. Because
Hmm.
McVay sometimes will get on my nerves because I'm like, dude, like, all right, don't get away from the run. Don't get away from the run. You're getting away from the
Yeah.
run. You're getting pass happy. That's always been my
Definitely.
thing. McVay getting pass happy. Getting pass happy.
Yep.
And but last year he finally figured out. Nah, we right here. We inside the five. We in the red
Hmm.
zone. Let's continue to run the
Let's
ball.
go ahead and keep running it.
Yeah,
What also helped y'all though is the development of the other receivers because I
yeah,
felt like a lot of times, even though, and you hate to say it, but Cooper Cup going down to injury was great in that way
yeah.
because Matthew Stafford to me, he he tunnel vision Cooper Cup so much.
I agree.
He was a safety net. I mean, he
Yeah,
really was your safety net.
yeah.
And so, but he did so much with it that he just like he almost was guaranteed that he's going to cup this play. He's going to
Right.
Cooper Cup this play.
Yeah,
Oh, this is third down. It's Cooper Cup. He's going there. He's
yeah.
going there. He's going there. And that was what he did. And
Hmm.
so, what I think helped y'all was the development of those young boys out there, the young receivers
Yeah.
that y'all had with Cooper
Hmm.
Cup going down, and they
Yep.
actually developed their own identity and got a chance to play. So now Stafford is just like, oh, I got other weapons,
Yep.
and
You could
here they
use the
are
two.
lying in front of you.
Yeah,
Yeah,
you could
use
use
all
Tutu
them weapons,
Atwell
and
and
then
Puka Nakua, and
it,
yeah,
exactly, and then you still got your ace in the hole and Cooper Cup. You know what I'm
yeah.
saying? It's so, and the running game. Once the running game started working even more, it just
Hmm.
builds up. It just makes it even more. It, it's amazing how X's and O's can be so simple
But yet,
when you
yeah,
really start thinking about it. But yet
yeah,
it's very hard to really execute because
yeah.
as the game goes, you got to adjust. But when you just think it from just a standpoint of, well, if you do this and you do that and you get these people involved and you start
Hmm.
developing these people, well, this is what you're going to see as success.
Right.
It don't always work for everybody because I mean, at the end of the day, some teams just aren't built and constructed correctly. They don't have the coaching staff or they don't have the GMs that's good at picking players for your offense, or
Hmm.
you're running with a bad scheme. Look at the Steelers. You got a heck
Yeah,
of a coach in Tomlin, but they struggled so bad offensively last year.
yeah,
Dog, really? Like
yeah.
y'all shouldn't even. How are y'all this bad?
Right.
Granted, they didn't have a great offensive coordinator. They got rid of him, bringing another one in there. They still wasn't doing that great, but you really don't have a quarterback to help y'all that much either. Y'all
Right.
defense is what kept you alive. You
Hmm.
got two running backs that are really great,
Great.
really good, strong running backs. Y'all do
Hmm.
have, but that's really all y'all was trying to depend upon. You needed a real quarterback. I mean, Kenny Pickett, he did whatever he could do. He was probably the better of the bunch, but
Yeah. Well, now this
he
year they
ain't
got Russell
saving
Wilson.
no.
They got yeah.
Exactly.
And I just
Exactly.
Russell Wilson. All he needs to do is do the same thing he did in Seattle. just this and it sound. I
Yeah.
mean, that sounds simple to say, but it really is just that simple. All he has to do is like when he had the Marshawn Lynch. That's the same thing he has to
Hmm.
do. Just run,
Yeah.
and when it is a pass play, don't turn it over. Um,
But I
you
guess
know,
that's also where they was talking about, was he as good as he was, or was it more of them having good schemes for him too? I believe Russell Wilson is great. I think he's a good quarterback.
I do too.
I don't know what happened in Denver. I don't know what happened in Denver. I know I
He
got
was the
tired of seeing him in
scapegoat in
Seattle
Denver.
for years because he was pissing me off. Excuse me
Yeah,
for cussing. Uh, but he was getting on my nerves over there in Seattle because
yeah,
for whatever reason we never could sack him when we needed to. He
yeah,
always got away from something and threw some wild football up in the air and somebody came down and caught it.
yeah.
What's his name?
DK
When they had
Metcalf
Doug
or Lockett.
Baldwin and
Lockett.
yeah, that's the
Yeah, Lockett.
man.
I know we
Boy,
play him
Tyler
twice a
Lockett
year
get on
too.
my nerves. And he
I know
just
we
threw
play him
some
twice a year
random
too.
run 15 yards back, toss up some BS because you couldn't tackle him in the backfield, and then here's Tyler Lockett
Yeah,
catch the ball, probably first down, touchdown, whatever it is.
yeah.
But I think he just was in a bad environment in Denver from the beginning.
Agreed.
Then I believe that I think he'll do better here and but in Pittsburgh because I think he's just in a better spot. But I think he really needs. First of all, you need a coach that's going to believe in you. I don't think Sean Payton believed in Russell
Oh
Wilson
yeah.
from the
No.
get go.
Yeah, yeah.
So if you ain't got a coach that really even cares, that believes in you like that, it's not gonna work.
Yeah.
It's not really
Yeah.
gonna work.
Agreed.
Even
Agreed.
though you talking about benching this man for some basically for some off field stuff with the contract stuff. But this
Right.
is the man that got you all of these wins because when he did turn their whole season around with Russell
Round.
Wilson, even
That's a
though they
fact.
didn't make the they didn't make the playoffs, but they
Yeah.
looked a lot better as the season progressed when
Yeah.
he was the quarterback.
And look at
Then you
Russell
put in the
Wilson's
other ones,
numbers.
yeah, he did good.
Solid.
They're
Yeah.
not bad numbers. I'll
Yeah.
take them.
Yeah. Yeah. For real.
But when you ain't got nobody rooting for you or batting for you, it wasn't all on him that they were losing games. Your defense was trash.
Yeah. Yep. I feel like
Your
Russell
defense was,
Wilson was the scapegoat.
yeah, he was. Because that
Yeah.
defense was trash. Their special teams was trash.
Right.
They were just bad. Period.
Right. I
Yeah.
agree. Um. So I know you watched. We were talking yesterday. I know you watched the playoffs. Uh.
Oh yeah, you already
Yeah.
know.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So we have in the Western Conference Finals Dallas and Minnesota, and in the Eastern
Mm-hmm.
Conference Finals Indiana and Boston. For starters,
Yeah.
I just I would like to start with saying if New York's healthy, Indiana doesn't win. If New York is
I
healthy,
agree.
Indiana doesn't win. All right.
It doesn't even go
Um,
to a game seven if New York's healthy.
yeah, if they yeah, I agree 1,000%. And people could say I'm hating on
Mm-hmm.
Indiana, but that's just how I feel.
No, it.
That's the reality
I
to
believe
me.
it goes five. I
Yeah,
believe they would have got him in five if they were fully healthy.
yeah,
I give
agree.
Indiana a game, but I believe the Knicks would have got him in five.
Yeah. Um. So who do you have in the Boston and Indiana series, and how many games?
I'm gonna go 6 games, Boston.
6 games, Boston. All right.
Yeah, I,
I had Boston, but I had Boston in five.
I could see Indiana giving them actual problems. Well, Indiana has been playing better defensively. I will say that. Without Porzingis there, I think Indiana can get them. They're going to give them problems. I don't think it's going to be the kind of blowout games that Boston's been used to, accustomed to
Hmm.
doing, because Indiana can store, even though Boston has a great defense, but
Mm-hmm.
Indiana's defense has been cranked up a little bit more. Um, they got good. They still got good rim protecting. They got some defenders that are getting better as the season have gone on. So
Mm-hmm.
I think they're going to give them problems, but I just think Boston just has too many weapons
I think the
that
rest that
for
Boston has,
than for Indiana to be able to get. Yeah,
they're
that
not.
too, that
The
too. But I just think they got too many weapons and too much experience there. They've
yeah,
been here before. It's not like
yeah,
the
that
first time
too.
they'd have been to a conference final.
Yeah.
Yeah, if they lose, it's because one, Indiana was just shooting lights out because I don't think Indiana's beating them in a grind out game. I don't
No.
believe that. I don't see that. I
Right.
see Indiana winning in a high scoring game. I think Indiana, if they get a game to where they can shoot, let's just put it this way: if Halliburton continues to play aggressive, doesn't just pass the ball, but also tries to look for his shot,
Mm-hmm.
and they move the ball like they're used to moving, and they're playing at their pace,
Mm-hmm.
even though Boston can play fast pace too. I think Indiana has a better chance at that than if they start playing Boston's game, being in a half court setting,
Mm-hmm.
which is what Boston wants them to do. They're not gonna. It's gonna be a bad series. But I see 6. I think Indiana can get. I see them getting 2. Surprisingly, one they'll probably get in Boston, and then the other one be in Indiana.
Yeah. I just I I did think about when after I said the one, I did think, well, Porzingis is out. So
Yeah.
that does pose a problem. So that Indiana could get two with Porzingis being out because Al Horford is old and like not a knock. He still can play at a decent level, but not that level. You know what I
Mm-hmm.
mean? And Indiana's a long team. They're long, with Siakam and them. Their whole team is long. I mean, you think about it, their guards are big. Like you think
Yeah.
their guards are bigger than anybody that New York had, playing yesterday.
Mm-hmm.
Um, so think about that.
Did did
Um,
uh did New York have a team playing yesterday? They got make sure they ain't get no fans out there on the court playing for them because
yeah, man, it was,
I feel
but
bad for them.
but Indiana. I mean, for the game, what they shoot like 64%?
Yes.
Crazy. The first half
Yes.
was what 76%, bro. It ain't.
78, yeah, 76, 78% at halftime or
Yeah,
something like that.
yeah. That it ain't
You're
no.
not
I mean,
missing nothing.
I'm
You're not beating no team shooting like that.
you're not. You're not.
I I don't care how good of your defense you have. A team that is shooting above 67 or 65%,
You're not beating them.
your chances of beating them is slim to none. Like
None.
you might as
Yeah.
well just we can't do nothing with them. They
Yeah.
shot 78% by halftime, bro.
Yeah.
Really?
Yeah.
By halftime, bro. You ain't
Yeah.
missing nothing. I
That what?
quit.
Yeah. Yeah. Like that's the thing.
Dog.
I was looking at the game and I'm like, okay, New York getting hot, but then I'm like, man, but Indiana just won't miss. Like I
Oh,
don't care
oh.
who in the face, none of that. They just wasn't
Mm-mm.
missing at all.
And
It's
see,
just
that's the Indiana. I will say if that Indiana shows up against Boston and Boston is not shooting lights out like they can,
mm-hmm.
even if Boston is, well, I can't even say that because if Boston is one of them teams when they get hot, it's game over. They the
Yeah,
same way. That's one
yeah,
thing I do like about that. Boston just brings us a more consistent defense. But if you look at them, that if both teams get hot, we could probably looking at 130, 140 points every game because
yeah.
White has been White. He's been hot the whole
Right.
playoffs pretty much.
Yeah. I
Like I'll be
think
watching
Boston.
Boston and I'm just like 1-3, 2-3, three
Yeah,
threes. They didn't hit
yeah,
5 in a row.
yeah. I
It was just a two
I
point game. Now they up 23.
23 points. Yeah. I think Indiana definitely has a game like that. Obviously, not that high of a percentage, but I do think they have one of them games where they beat Boston like shooting like that.
Hmm.
But Boston's one of them teams where they don't really get like blowed out like that. Like if they lose,
Yeah,
it don't really be a blowout. You know what I mean? Like
yeah, yeah. They usually keep them pretty close.
close,
Then
yeah.
again, if Boston does Boston, well, Boston is one. Boston's one of them teams that they're one of those teams that they have to shoot themselves in the foot for
In the
you really
foot,
to
yeah.
beat them, really.
That's generally
So
how
when they
it
start shooting
goes.
all them, yeah, when they shooting all them threes and they start breaking and they ain't clicking and they ain't hot like that, they'll start
Yeah,
doing one on one basketball and then they get out of
yeah.
their game and
Hmm.
then that's when Indiana is really gonna have a field day with them because
Right.
when they are cold, they get terrible.
Yeah.
They look bad when they're cold. Like you look at a Knicks team, you like, oh, the Knicks cold, but they're so gritty anyway that they're gonna grind and they can win ugly games.
Right. Right.
Boston gets cold and it's just like they don't know what else to do besides
Yeah.
keep jacking up threes and
Threes
we still missing. And
and
then you
playing
look up,
ISO
they down by
basketball.
like 15, 20 points. Yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
They get out of character real quick,
Yeah.
and then that's when their downfall comes.
Yeah. Western
But I got
Conference.
I got Boston in six.
You got Boston in 6. Western Conference. Dallas against Minnesota Timberwolves. Who you got? How many games?
Mm,
That one's harder.
it really is. Uh, you know what?
Yeah.
I'm gonna say Minnesota. Minnesota. That's because I want Minnesota to kind of go. You know, I like
Yeah.
Ant Man, but I'm gonna say Minnesota in seven again.
Okay. Minnesota in 7. Oh man. All right. I'm gonna go. I would love to see Minnesota, and I think Minnesota's the better team. Just for one, they have the size
Oh yeah,
advantage. Uh, Two, I
yeah.
just think they have a little bit more depth on the core. But it's something about Luca where none of that matters to him, and
Oh yeah,
I
no.
he's like got this thing where he's like, you know what I mean? Like he
Yeah, he
turns
can do
into
whatever
it,
he wants to.
yeah,
Hmm.
insanely, you know, um I guess I'm gonna go Minnesota in 7, but it wouldn't surprise me
It
if
wouldn't surprise
Dallas,
me if Dallas wins. Yeah,
yeah, I
yeah. It wouldn't
wouldn't be
surprise me either.
right. So that one,
The
that's a
only
coin toss.
thing, yeah, it is. The only thing is if Luca can stay healthy because he's been banged up. So
Yeah,
yeah, so and that's what's gonna make it. The only reason why I give Minnesota the edge is because of perimeter defense.
yeah,
Because I think Minnesota they have a couple of bigs, likely, and what's his name, Gabbert.
oh yeah,
That's his name, right? Gabbert. They're good rim protectors. So
yeah,
they're good rim protectors. Kyrie is not really a perimeter defender. Luca, he's not a big defender. He can play
yeah,
if when he wants to. That's why I said thinking about hell. Derek Jones Jr. He's athletic, so he can move with a lot of people.
yeah,
It's just I think Minnesota is a little more physical. They're more physical of a defense and offensively.
right,
And as much as we want to say can't nobody, I mean that what makes Dallas so scary is because of Kyrie and Luca,
right.
both of them. Because Kyrie at any given moment, yeah, he's then been off or whatever, but any given moment he can drop 40 on you.
Go off.
Like it ain't nothing. Now Ant Man wants to go ahead and guard him 1-on-one. So and the way that the T Wolves, they kind of like my thing is what gives me the edge once they start getting a couple of defensive stops, and then they defense starts rolling
Yeah.
while their offense starts getting off. It's like smelling blood. Them boys is they. Did you see what they did to Denver?
Right.
They were down 20 points.
Yeah.
Then they started hitting a
Stay
couple of shots, and then the
stay the
defense
course.
started clamping. And once that defense started clamping, it was over. There was
Over.
nothing else they could do. When you getting on ball steals is people don't understand. That's
That's
pure effort
effort. Yeah.
defensively.
Oh yeah.
That's not. That's not. Oh, I just accidentally got a poke here or whatever. No, he was. They were on. You're not going nowhere. Let me go and get that from
Yeah. Yeah.
you.
Yeah. We'll see. We'll
So
see.
it's like
Go ahead.
what? I actually forgot what I was going to say. So yeah.
Oh no, I was just gonna say. We'll see with Luca. That contact, that hard defense, that stuff don't bother him. Now he gonna get some turn. You know, Luca gonna turn the ball over. I mean, Luca's gonna turn the
Oh yeah,
ball
he's
over.
a. Mm-hmm.
But he
Yeah.
also that physicality, that none of that bothers him. That contact, it doesn't
No,
change his
it does.
game plan. He gonna bang with you,
It does not at all. Yeah,
and
he loves
so
the contact. You
yeah, and
with Luca,
so
you just got to pray that he's not having a hot day.
exactly, and
That's
and the
that's
thing
just pretty much it.
and the thing with Luca is with with the contact that he'll, like you said, he is banged up, but also he'll go bang bang with you, and it's whether the defense wants to continue to be aggressive with him, who's gonna give out
Hmm.
first. So
Yeah, that's
that
true.
that
That's
matters.
true. That's true.
Um,
The
you know,
only the only benefit I think the real benefit between let's just look at styles. They both gonna play physical.
hmm
Luca's a big guard, so it's not like guarding Jamal Murray,
hmm
you know what I'm saying, or anything like that. Even though Denver had, a lot of I mean, they kind of just some people didn't show up, like Porter,
hmm
Michael Porter. I don't know what happened to him that whole series. Aaron Gordon, Denver literally has the better team than almost anybody in the NBA. By the way that they're constructed with length and the people that they can guard and score, they got some dogs on defense in Caldwell, Pope.
hmm
But it is a different story when you're dealing with a guard like Luca that can create like anything that he wants to. But it's almost like looking at Jokic. Jokic could create anything that he wanted to. He can get
yeah,
any bucket. He can get anything that. But like I told you yesterday, I didn't know why Minnesota was trying to double team on Jokic.
because he's
They
gonna get it
want you to
anyway.
do that because they want everybody else to get hot and score to
hmm
beat them. Let I will give Jokic all the points he can need. He better score 70 today
Yeah,
before I let him get 32 and 15 assists.
yeah,
Because that 32-15 is a killer
yeah.
versus him getting 40 and 5 or something like that.
Right.
Luca is one of them ones that he's gonna get 40, 50. Any given night, he might kill you with 60, and then he do got 20 assists on you. You didn't even know it.
Yeah.
And
Slow.
you don't know where
Like
they came from.
yeah, yeah, yeah. It's gonna it's
But they
gonna
can
be
they can run. Yeah.
yeah.
But
It's it's gonna,
I still think Minnesota's going to get them. I think they don't really have nobody that's going to be able to play Towns. If Towns is playing like he's supposed to play,
mhm.
I think they will get him because they got that, like you said, they got the size. You got Towns, you got Nas Reed that can actually stretch the defense out. You got
Right.
Towns that's going to put pressure on you. I don't, we won't talk about Gobert too much of anything. He might give you 10 and 10. Might be a good 10.
Right.
Hopefully it's a good 10, you know what I'm saying? Not wasted calories. But like yesterday, he only had like 11 points, but he had some crucial points, you know what I'm saying?
Right.
But the thing will be okay if um if Anthony Edwards can actually could be aggressive, Mike Conley, he's gonna always be a hard cover because he can kill you if you ain't paying attention to him.
Right.
And I think they have a little more depth than Dallas. To be honest, that's how I kind of feel with that. When you got somebody like Naj Reid coming off the bench, you got people like Alexander Walker who can actually he can go when he can get hot. Then you got Jaden McDaniels, who was a great two-way player as well. It's
Right.
like he could play good offense. If he's giving you 15 to 20 points, I think that's what's going to make the difference in that whole entire series.
I
It's
agree.
going to be it's not going to come down to the stars, it's going to come down to the supporting cast. That's how I feel.
The depth, and Minnesota
Cuz the
definitely
stars are
has
going to
more depth.
score. Yeah. Yeah. So if the stars are going and they getting off and they getting theirs, it's going to be the supporting cast who's going to be able to score more, either off the bench or your others, like your scorer or whatever. If
Right.
Dallas gets out there and Kyrie and Luka is going for 50, 60 points, you kind of almost expect that. But if you got Luka and going for 50, 60, and then you got Derrick Jones Jr. dropping 14 and 15, and then that Lively and all the other boys are just getting their little scraps and eating, and then Tim Hardaway Jr. might get off on you.
Hmm.
It's going to be a wrap. But I think this series is going to come down to who's got the better supporting cast. That's it.
I think you're right in that. And with Minnesota having more depth, I do believe that that's why I'm going like game seven.
Yeah,
I'm going 7 games with it, and I'm picking Minnesota just because the depth. I just wouldn't be surprised with Dallas simply because Luca's
I
like
wouldn't
this.
either.
Luca's this madman. You know what I mean? And Kyrie, if you get Luca going mad
Yeah.
and Kyrie is having one of his nights, it's gonna be
Hmm.
hard for them boys in Minnesota. So
It's going to
I
be
I
a
agree with you
problem.
1,000%.
Yeah,
So
it's gonna be a problem. But I'm just happy to see that it's about to be a change of who's gonna be the champs and just
yeah,
seeing something new. You know,
yeah,
just seeing something new.
I agree. Well,
If I
man,
had an ideal NBA championship real quick, I would say I would like to see Minnesota play Indiana.
that's what
That's
you
only
want.
because I'm not a Boston fan. I'm not a
I hate
Boston
Boston.
fan. Boston got enough championships. They got
Hmm.
enough championships. I don't give a dang if they win another one. I would like to see Indiana win one or Minnesota win one. Dallas has one. I wouldn't mind seeing Luca win one either, and just put that out there. But
Yeah.
if I had ideal, it would be those two teams or any team against Indiana in the West against Indiana. I just don't want to see Boston win. I like Tatum too. That's the sad part. I do like Tatum.
Okay. So I would say Minnesota. I would say Minnesota and Boston, and simply because I'm really curious to see how Minnesota deals with a team like I just think that matchup is just better. I just think it's a way better matchup.
It is a better matchup.
And of
It'll make
course,
for a
I
much
don't
better
like
series.
I don't like Boston, but I
Yeah, yeah. You're a Laker fan, so
yeah yeah
if you like Boston, that'd have been a cardinal sin.
exactly. But but also I would like to see Kyrie get another one with a different team, and you know why?
I would like to see that too.
Yeah
I do. Yeah, I know why. I like
yeah
to see that too. I would like to see that too.
yeah.
So anybody in the West, if Boston goes, I'm definitely picking
The
either team
West.
in the West.
Yeah.
If it was the other way around, with if Indiana goes, I'm still probably picking either team in the West. But hey, Indiana, kudos to y'all. That'd be
Yeah.
great to see because I know they're gonna bring exciting offense. So
Yeah.
yeah.
Yeah. All right, man. It's been a great hour, man. I enjoyed talking with you.
Oh yeah.
We're gonna run it back next week.
That'll work.
All right,
That'll
man.
work. Same time, same channel.
Same time, same
All right,
channel.
man.
Enjoy the rest of your evening, and I'm gonna hit you up tomorrow. So,
Yes, sir. That'll work. All right, man.
all right.
Later.